Oh, what an interesting time we live in. Christine in Ashland, Oregon. Hey, Christine, what's on your mind today?
Hello, Tom. Welcome back. I'm glad you're healing well.
Thank you.
I'd
Me
also
too.
like to thank you for all of your good information. You're a wealth of information. Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm a first-time donator and now a regular listener, and I'd like to comment on your solar stuff. But first of all, I'd like to ask a question about why mail-in voting isn't more prolific. It's great. I'm in Oregon, of course, and we have mail-in voting, and
Right.
you get your pamphlet about 3 weeks before the vote, and you can sit down, research everything, and make an intelligent decision on who you want to vote for in the privacy of your own home. You don't have to stand in line. It's wonderful.
Yeah, Louise and I lived in Oregon for 5 years. I've experienced it, and I agree with you, Christine. The reason why it is not more common, the reason why more states haven't adopted it, although Washington State adopted it year before last after watching what happened in Oregon. But the reason why it is not more common in the United States is that red states, Republicans hold on to their power in red states by preventing people from voting. It's very, very simple. There's about 8 or 9 principal practices that they use to prevent people from voting, but that's how they do it. They prevent people from voting. One of the main ways is knocking them off the voting rolls. So if you're getting mail-in ballots, and as you know, they go out, what, about 5-6 weeks before the election?
Yeah.
Something like that. And so you've got so you've got plenty of time to A, figure out who you want to vote for, but B, you've got plenty of time to call up the local voter registrar and say, hey, I never got my ballot. You know, would you check and make sure that I'm registered to vote? And if I'm not, would you register me and send me another one? And the Republicans do not want that. They don't want you to have the ability to do that. They want to surprise you when you show up at the polling place. Like there's 75,000 people who went in Wayne County, Michigan, in Detroit, in largely black, largely Democratic Detroit, who stood in line for hours and hours in the freezing cold and finally went in and voted, and their ballots were never even opened. And Hillary Clinton lost Michigan by 10,000 votes. 75,000 people, because those 75,000 people were knocked off the voting rolls by Republicans in Michigan. But they didn't know it until they showed up the day of the vote. So it was way too late to do anything about it. And Republicans like that. And so that's why you're not going to see vote by mail in any red state any day soon. And to get it in a purple state, a state where Republicans still have some control and can veto legislation, I think is going to be extremely unlikely. You may see some more blue states, solid blue states going for it. Although, you know, you've got California, Oregon, and Washington State. California is not all mail-in voting now, but it's very common, I believe. But you know, more and more states will be doing it. There's another state, I'm forgetting which one it is that's doing it, but it's gonna take a while. Christine, you're absolutely right.
You're
Thank you.
listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.